Shock and sadness on the University of Kentucky campus today about a student murdered on a Lexington street. We have team coverage of a talented young man whose life was cut short and the man charged with his murder.
A little bit of a mix of sun and clouds across the area right now, but I'm tracking a half and half weekend. We'll talk about the stormy half in greater detail just ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. After a very wet week, we are finally getting a break from the rain. It's a nice end to the week. This is Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where it's in the low 70s right now. But will this last through the weekend? Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is in the First Alert Weather Center with the answer. Chris, a beautiful Friday. Yeah,
it's $1 million question. Everyone would just like this to roll on through our Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you half that. Then Mother Nature's going to kind of collect on a payback as we go into Sunday with showers and some thunderstorms. Here's that live view on our side of town, east side of Lexington toward Hamburg Pavilion, Winchester Road area, dealing with partly sunny skies. Good look again, 72 beautiful degrees. Humidity still up there, 61%. Wind's not really cranking up as much today throughout our part of the world. 76 into Jackson, 72 for most of the Lexington metro and the Bluegrass region. The best part about everything I'm showing you, live First Alert Defender, not a drop of rain across Kentucky as of now. Clouds continue to increase from south to north, and that's a trend that will be with us through the evening. So you're never going to have completely clear skies tonight or even into most of your Saturday. You'll have a little bit of cloud cover. Weather headlines showing that good-looking start to the weekend. Then more storms are on the way. We could be talking about some severe weather later this weekend. And maybe, just maybe, Jennifer, a little frosty chill that follows that action. 7-day forecast is action-packed when I come back in a few minutes.
The murder of a University of Kentucky student has sent shockwaves across the community. Lexington police say 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger was shot to death around 2 this morning. The UK junior was from Perrysburg, Ohio, a suburb of Toledo. Police found him on East Maxwell Street near Transylvania Park. He'd been shot several times. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is at the scene with the latest on Kruger's murder and the man charged with the crime. She begins our top story team coverage at 4. Kristen?
Jennifer, Police Chief Mark Barnard told us that he was very pleased that his detectives were able to make an arrest so quickly. They have charged 18-year-old Justin Smith with 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger's murder. Detectives made it very clear during a press conference earlier this afternoon that they do not believe Smith and Kruger knew one another. They do, however, say the shooting happened during a robbery. They say Kruger was walking home at the time. Someone he was with told police 2 people jumped out of a minivan and confronted them. The person Kruger was with managed to escape. Just a few hours later, officers tell us they tried pulling over the driver of a maroon minivan of similar description. They say that driver ran into a home on La Harve Road. They spent about an hour trying to get him out of the home. That man, Justin Smith, we're told is now charged with murder, robbery, tampering with physical evidence, and fleeing and evading arrest. We spoke with some of his neighbors, surprised to wake up early this morning to the arrest.
As far as that family, I just feel bad for like the younger kids because they have to get waken up on the day. Pretty sure they probably went to school, and seeing all this going on in front of them years down the road, who knows how it's going to impact them.
Police are looking into the possibility that more people are involved, more arrests could be made. Live in Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Well, the news of Kruger's murder sent shockwaves across the UK campus, especially at the Kentucky Colonel where he worked. Jonathan Kruger was a talented photojournalist and was the photo editor for the UK student newspaper, most recently working the Final Four. Monique Blair continues our team coverage with reaction from campus.
Jennifer, just a couple hours after close friends of Jonathan Kruger's learned about his death, they jumped in and started planning a vigil tonight. A vigil that will honor the guy he was, a guy I'm told had a genuine love for life.
His smile like literally goes from ear to ear. He's so happy.
Christina Alexander tells me she has known John for a few years, and he was the type of guy who had a contagious personality, the type of guy everyone wanted to be around. Alexander says John was extremely involved here at UK, from being active in his fraternity to working as a photographer for the Kentucky Colonel. She wants the vigil tonight to be a time to remember the happy guy her friend John was, and not a time to focus on the crime that was committed this morning.
I'd really like it if, even if like you didn't know him, if you knew people who did, and you came out to show your support for the family and the friends who are really grieving, because it's going to be a hard few weeks.
The vigil will start at 8 o'clock tonight here at the Newman Center on UK's campus. Live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
We'll have reaction from Kruger's hometown in Ohio coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. Police say an eastern Kentucky man became the victim of a robbery just minutes after arriving at work. It happened this morning at the Richard White Lumber Yard in Clay County. The victim told police two men approached him and took his money. Police say they stole a pickup truck as their getaway vehicle. Police recovered the pickup but are still looking for the robbers. We'll have the latest on the investigation at 4:30. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The parents of an 8-year-old boy killed in the Boston Marathon bombings say they do not want their son's killer to face the death penalty. In a front page piece in today's Boston Globe, Bill and Denise Richard call on federal prosecutors to consider taking the death penalty off the table. Wendy Gillette reports.
As we look forward to Marathon Monday, bombing victims look for ways to put the trial and tragedy behind them. For the first time, Martin Richards' family shared their opinion on capital punishment. 8-year-old Martin was killed in the bombings. On the front page of the Boston Globe Friday, his parents revealed an emotional plea. To end the anguish, drop the death penalty. They said, quote, "We know that the government has its reasons for seeking the death penalty, but the continued pursuit of that punishment could bring years of appeals and prolong reliving the most painful day of our lives. We understand all too well the heinousness and brutality of the crimes committed. We were there. We lived it. The defendant murdered our 8-year-old son, maimed our 7-year-old daughter, and stole a part of our soul."
The Richard family, the victims' families, their opinions on this are a lot more important than mine.
At the grand opening of Boylston's new AT&T store, Governor Baker and Mayor Marty Walsh weighed in on the Richards op-ed.
My personal opinion was that I felt Sarnaya should receive the death penalty, but I also said that I thought it was up to the jury.
Bill Richards is the dad who lost his son, and he's doing what a dad's supposed to do, and I support him for that.
Running legend Bill Rogers will celebrate 40 years since he won the 1975 Boston Marathon. He says he hopes the end of the trial and return of the marathon will bring Boston peace.
I think of Martin Richard, though, a lot, and his message. He said, let's stop hurting each other and peace. And it's a day of peace, and that's what I think about running.
The penalty phase for the Boston Marathon bombing trial begins on Tuesday.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A rough end to the week on Wall Street with major losses across the board on concerns about Greece and China. The Dow plunged 280 points to close at 17,826. The Nasdaq fell 76 and the S&P 24. The Dow and S&P had their biggest one-day drops in nearly a month. Etsy, a website where people can buy handmade crafts, is now the largest certified socially responsible company to go public in the U.S. Etsy shares opened at $31, a 94% surge from its initial public offering price. The company focuses on handmade or vintage items. Etsy is now worth nearly $4 billion. A night out on the town is getting more expensive for parents who need childcare. A new survey by Urban Sitter finds the cost of babysitters is on the rise. The site surveyed 10,000 families and found hourly rates for babysitters range from $11 to nearly $20 an hour. Urban Sitter says one reason for rising costs is parents are using college students instead of high school students. 1/3 of parents say they do date nights once a week. Britain's Prince William and his wife Kate are expecting their second child any day now. The royal couple says they don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but that's not stopping some Brits from placing their bets. Susan McGinnis is in London with the story.
A royal gambling frenzy is underway at betting shops across Britain.
We're now taking 300, 400 a day, and I expect that to go up to thousands a day. It definitely is building, and it's building hard.
Definitely. I think it's a girl. A blonde girl called Elizabeth.
If bookmakers have it right, Prince William and Kate will have a blonde-haired girl named Alice.
Without doubt, the biggest backed is Alice. Absolutely extraordinary.
The baby will be a younger sibling to 21-month-old Prince George. There are wagers on the child's weight, eye color, even who will carry the newborn out of the hospital.
Some of the biggest bets are being placed on when Kate will give birth here at St. Mary's Hospital in London. While the odds favor one day next weekend, many like Tuesday, April 21st, Queen Elizabeth's 89th birthday.
Elizabeth's also a top name in the running, along with Victoria, Charlotte, and Alexandra. Some think the couple will choose Diana in honor of William's mother, who died when he was 15.
Thank you so much.
If Kate has a boy, the money is on James or Arthur. Some believe Kate may have revealed what she's hoping for when she wore bright pink at her most recent appearance. Susan McGinnis, CBS News, London.
If you're looking for really long odds for the name of the baby who will be the fourth in line to the British throne, Chardonnay is paying 100 to 1 and Wayne 500 to 1. Some of the biggest names in thoroughbred racing are in Lexington.
Yeah, they are. Deanne Stevens out and about today, joining us from Keeneland with more and hopefully a winning ticket or two. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Keeneland. Where else would you expect me to be on a Friday afternoon? A beautiful day here at the races. Cannot believe only one more week of racing here at Keeneland for the spring meet. Kara Heisenbuttel is with us. And Kara, you guys have had a great meet so far.
We have, despite the weather, Mother Nature hasn't been our friend, but we've had great crowds and it's been a lot of fun.
I always say this, it really doesn't matter if it's raining or storming or what it's doing outside. You're at Keeneland. It's a beautiful day.
It's way better than the office, right?
A lot of folks feel the same way too, obviously. You guys have a big weekend planned here at Keeneland.
We do. We just wrapped up a jockey autograph signing, so that's always a great time. We have Military Day at the races on Sunday, where military families get free general admission, reserved grandstand seating, free lunch. I don't know how the weather will cooperate, but rain or shine, activities will go on.
The activities will continue no matter what, as you just mentioned. Talk about the unique partnership that you guys have with those in the military and what a beautiful sight it is to see when you guys are honoring those.
It's such a touching day. Many of our seasonal employees are veterans themselves, so they take it very personally and are very passionate about it. And our fans are as well. I think people are surprised to find out how many military families live here in our community.
And work here as well. Next week, last week of racing for the spring meet, things are wrapping up, gearing up for a big fall ahead. Absolutely. Here at Keeneland. Talk about next week, activities you guys have planned and what we're looking for in the fall.
That's right. We will close out with the concert on the lawn right after the races on closing day, and then we have so many fun things coming up for Breeders' Cup in the fall with special Breeders' Cup tours and morning workouts. It's going to be a great time.
Always a great time here at Keeneland. Don't forget, this weekend, Sunday, is Military Appreciation Day. Come on out and enjoy that. And coming up at 4:50, we're talking to the folks from the Kentucky Derby Museum about It's My Derby. It's a party happening here tonight. We've got an invite for you when we return here on WKYT. Back to you guys.
It's time for Better Living, health education, and consumer news that impacts your life. The use of electronic cigarettes is on the rise among teenagers. New data from the CDC and the FDA found it tripled among middle and high school students between 2013 and 2014. E-cigarettes, also known as vapors, soared past all other tobacco products in popularity, including regular cigarettes. For adult smokers who think e-cigarettes may help them quit, researchers at the University of California say think again. They followed 1,000 smokers and found those who turned to e-cigarettes to kick the habit are almost 60% less likely to quit. Troubled sleepers may find some relief through a new hobby. Doctors in India say people who play instruments, such as the clarinet, flute, or trumpet, were at less risk for sleep apnea. Researchers believe wind instruments may increase muscle tone in upper airways.